Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bomber Banter. Welcome to Fiona's forecast. It's round 22. Oh, my goodness. We play Geelong again, and the fear is very high for this game. I am in fear of our supporters' mental health and also our poor backmen's mental health, and just the the feel and the vibe around the club after this game. It is not going to be pretty, but thank goodness I have a very good friend to help me through it. Hello, Solution. How are you doing, my friend?
Yo, Fiona, you all right? I'm buzzing to be here. I'm well happy. I'm absolutely buzzing.
Okay, you're not the solution I know. What is
Well,
going on, please?
I just got
Explain yourself.
I just got my Oasis tickets.
Oh, okay.
So this is my Liam Gallagher Parker.
Ah,
You know Oasis. You know Liam Gallagher.
no, I've heard of the band. I know the band, the name of the band, but
Well, they're from Manchester. So he has kind of his
ah,
hair like this, and he has this Parker. But also,
ah,
I noticed you're doing our weekly show with Pommy.
I am. Yes. Oh, so it's an homage to the Pom.
Well, not only is he Pommy, but I think you might find he's Northerner. So
Yes. Okay. So can you
yeah,
tell the difference between the accents?
yeah. I suspect he
Oh,
might be from somewhere like Sheffield or Manchester or somewhere like that. But
I
I'll
do know
teach
he's
you
from a
some.
small town.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. I reckon. So I'm going to teach you a bit of Northern, so you can use this next week. So when you don't say hello, how are you?
Okay.
Say all right,
All right, when somebody asks you, "How are you?"
all right without the T, and it just basically means hello, how are you? So you don't say
Oh,
anything. All right, and then you do the
that's
Mac
very
kind of walk.
that's very efficient.
Mm. And I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. Means like I'm
Well, you
happy.
know what? I've been watching a lot of I've been getting into my good friend Matt, absolutely could not believe that I'd never watched Ted Lasso before. And so, he implored me to get onto it, and I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso recently, and so I do have the accents in my head, and they're very
Yeah,
thick. Some of the accents are very thick English accents.
yeah. And the Northerners are really like they're hard, and hard means like they're tough. So anyway,
Yep.
um,
Okay.
couldn't be further
Nice.
from me. But anyway, yes, I'm excited about Oasis. I can't wait.
Oh, when's the concert?
Sadly, I think it's November, which is too far away. I wish it was this Friday night.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, is there anything else going on in Melbourne Friday night, particularly, specifically that I can't miss? I just unfortunately I have to see it.
I'll go to bingo. Uh,
Yeah,
go
there is no bad idea.
No, no. Go and get my nipples pierced. I mean, like. There's so many other things that could be
Oh
worse
god.
than this. It is going to be horrific,
Yeah.
and
And
so much. So you go.
oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, horrific. And like if the Cats didn't have, something to fight for already, which is, a top four place, if they didn't already have that to fight for and good percentage, healthy percentage, now they've got the extra motivation to get Jeremy Cameron 25 goals.
He could get it this week. He really could.
I mean, I'm laughing in dismay, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but we are so undermanned, and he got off the leash last time. So, what's to say he's not going to happen again, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
Well,
Is
just quickly, what did you think? Let's talk about the Sydney game first. Just a quick overview. What were your thoughts um, on that game from the weekend?
oh, absolutely in the lane of honourable loss.
Yep,
Uh,
agree.
I kind of enjoyed the fact that the ground wasn't great. It was a bit of a
Why?
throwback to the old days.
Oh,
Apart from the sinkhole that we
uh-huh.
nearly lost Kako in, that they had to fill up. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, it was like there's not a single Essendon fan. I'm sure there were some. Just to hark back to last week, I'm sure there were some Scott out. They should have done better. Morons out there. But last week, just self-contained in its own game. it's practically a VFL team.
Yeah.
So many teenagers, like literal teens.
It's a glorified VFL team, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's right. With a sprinkling of experience. Nobody could do anything other, surely, than say they gave it their all and they had a go, and surely that's all we can ask.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Like, for me, Brad Scott's words after in his post-match press conference that just rung and put so much perspective into my mind, in that talking about Archie Roberts and how much that handful of games he had last year just accelerated his rise to where he is now in terms of how he faced the off season this year and how he's gone about this entire season, and how having that knowledge of what it takes to line up against stars, how hard you have to work to be a regular in AFL, how the standards, how much you have to work at keeping your body cherry ripe. It's no coincidence that he's played every game so far this year and gotten through, and is looking like his body is up to it, because he got a sprinkling of evidence last year as to what it's going to take, because he was probably cooked after the 5 games he got last year or so. And in that moment when Brad Scott said that, I thought to myself, now this is assuming all of the debutants get contracts, but that's 14 more players who enter this preseason, or next year's preseason, whatever you want to call it, and next year with games under their belt that they never would have got had Kyle Langford been fit, Zach Reid been fit, Ben Mackay been fit, Darcy Parish been fit, had all those main 5 that I just said, had they been fit, there's no way that these backmen and mids and forwards would have gotten a taste. And Sam Draper, had he been fit, there's no way Vigo's getting a game this year if Brian and Draper are playing. So we've got 14 guys who now have a bit of insight, and I think it's invaluable. I think it's underrated how much, because you can assimilate it as much as you can, as much as possible in the VFL and at training, but nothing is like the real thing. Nothing is like the nerves you get when you're lining up for a goal and the crowd's, trolling you or cheering for you. Nothing is like that. And so your Johnsons and your Clarks and your Lawals and now Nguyen and Vigo, they'll just have that burned into their memory. They'll have the extra motivation because they want more. They've got a taste and now they'll want more,
Yeah, it's like an accelerated course, or it's like if you're trying to learn a language. I remember I've tried to learn languages in the past. You can read words in the dictionary 100 times. I forget them as soon as I close the dictionary. But you get dropped into a town or dropped into a city where no one speaks the language, and you just have to make do. It's a bit like that. It's been invaluable, and there's a bit of Hunger Games about it too. The stronger, the weak won't survive. Although I think everyone dies in the Hunger Games, possibly. I've actually not really seen it.
No, it's true. This is the Hunger Games. The weak and the ones who have no resilience and no
We're just done up to it.
Yeah,
well,
they die.
Yeah.
They get killed and they get picked off one by one. So what a great analogy for our season this year. Wow.
Yeah, and that's a horror. That would be in the genre of horror, surely. So it explains our season. But some of the gems that we've found, possibly we wouldn't have found. I think Roberts always had a trajectory that meant seniors. But some of the people this year, like my boy Blackiston in the ruck this week, and some of these guys, we may have found some players that we wouldn't have found otherwise.
Yeah, but even him, he's still very, very light of frame, and he still sometimes is beaten by the strength of his opponent. And I think to myself, once he fills out a bit in a proper, we hope, professional setting, and he fills out those shoulders and arms, it's going to hold him in such good stead, because he's already got, you can tell he's got that footing out. He knows where to go. Each week he's gotten a little bit more confident. Now he just needs to, I think, believe in his body, because right now I'm not sure he quite thinks that he can outmuscle or go up physically against an opponent. And he's is pretty courageous and can hold his own. But I just, even looking at him and think, what another preseason. He didn't have a preseason. He hasn't had an AFL preseason. He started 5 weeks ago. He's
And
been
I just
doing
wonder,
preseasons.
like, how old is he? He's
26.
26. But I wonder whether the fact that he's new to AFL means that he's like physically, maybe he's like a 22, 23-year-old.
Possibly, yeah.
And that he might have a bit more of an extended period. But anyway, in terms of changes, for me, there's one glaring one. Goldie has to have a rest.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no. At least Vigo can probably not fall over in ruck contests like Goldie was. Yeah, he needs a rest, possibly for the rest of the year. That would be my one change. What do you reckon?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, everyone knows where I stand on the Goldie and Vigo debate. I think it would do Vigo no harm to bring him in, and I would pair him with the Blackiston now that we've tried, although not this week given Geelong's forward line, but I'd just bring Vigo in just to give him more examples and more experience against ruckman. So Reece Stanley, he goes up against, who's been in the system for a million years. It feels like he's not an extra midfielder for the Cats. He's just a big bulking tap ruckman basically. So and Geelong subbed him yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever they played on Sunday when they played Port Adelaide. So Vigo could then go up against a younger opponent or Blixavs. Well. Now that I say that out loud, that's a big task for him. But again, at this point, is it doing any harm to just let him get beaten? No. We expect he will.
It absolutely isn't. And you know what? I don't prescribe to the theory that we're somehow traumatising players by throwing them in and them getting loss after loss after loss. They're not going to war. They're playing a sport, and if we start winning, those feelings will turn around completely. And I completely agree with what you said earlier, which is they're learning about the standards required. So just play the man.
Yeah. And the hunger to then go into the off season to be around one starter next year, look, I think it's a tall order, and I'm not suggesting that we play him for the next 3 weeks straight. Maybe he plays this week, gets a rest next week, and then plays the Carlton game or something, Sure. Just to protect his body a bit, basically. I don't think it's going to traumatise him in the losing. I really want the win. I really want to win for just the morale. And I spoke about this last week, and that dopamine hit, just so they get a little bit of validation about where they are. And, there was a moment on Saturday night when Redmond kicked that goal from Merritt doing the little handball, and those two celebrated together, and you could see the mental exhaustion in both their faces. And I just think to myself, even they need a little win, a little dopamine hit from the football perspective, So I thought to myself, oh gosh, it's not going to come this week, but if we can somehow manage to get St Kilda on an off day or Carlton on an off day, preferably, that would be just wonderful for the group.
Whereas I'm eyeing off 16th. That's my next target. So
well, the Kangaroos got very, very close to St Kilda, 6 points. 6 point loss or something, 7 point loss.
I think the Tigers are the ones.
Oh yes, of course, the Kangaroos, Tigers.
Yeah, but
we'd have to stay losing.
Yeah, but you know what? I say that now in the cold light of day. When we're playing Carlton, if the score's level and there's 5 minutes to go, my heart will be coming out of its chest, and I'll be screaming and yelling and wanting to win, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, look, I'm happy for that change. And, look, I mean, we got no injuries, hopefully, touch wood. But, we get injuries when we just sit at home. So, look, I could go in unchanged, given there's no glaring obvious pick for me.
I reckon El Houli for Lual is one I'd make, just because Lual looks so off the pace.
I don't think he's off the pace. I don't. I think it's education. I just don't think he understands. And the way you're going to continue to understand is just exposure. I don't think he looks tired. He's getting to contests and he's running out games, yes, there are moments, but I don't think put it this way. I don't think he looks any more tired than Angus Clark. Angus Clark just looks like he has a more of a understanding, a more of a profound understanding of the wing position. That's what it looks like to me.
I disagree slightly. I think whether this is education or whether this is fitness, either way, he's not getting to the contest. The amount of times, like we're watching on TV, and the ball's in the vision, Lawal's on the edge of this TV screen in the periphery too often. He's just not getting to the fall of the ball. He's not where the ball is, and he's not a kick away either. He's just in no man's land.
But that's because he's playing that's because he's playing into that zone defense that the team is playing, and so he's not reading the play to know when to come off his opponent and when to hold space, when to pull back, and so he's second to. But these are the things that you're probably not going to understand, and a lot of them are probably not sit in the classroom and learners. A lot of them are. What's the difference in learning? Practical learners or
practical learning, practical.
Yeah, practical. I would suggest that a lot of them are not classroom learners, and a lot of them are practical learners. So that's my opinion.
Sure.
But yeah.
But I also think there's got to be an element of meritocracy as well. Like when you're not touching the ball, and El Houli, I think, has done some poor things. But I love the way he takes the game on. That's why I'd like to see him in the team, even though it went awry last time he played a couple of times. But yeah, well, maybe both of them can come in and we can give someone else a rest. Maybe it is Clark, who looks like he's burdened. It looks like he's mentally tired.
Oh, I hope not, because he's got the thumbnail this week. So I hope he stays in for the thumbnail.
The curse of the thumbnail.
No, I don't want to start that. Last week was Archer May and he came back in, so I was like, phew. Yeah, I mean, I see signs from Lual that I just love. One-on-one, he is very, very good. When in some games, as you know, I rewatch the games, especially the wins while I go for a run. And I tell you what, one-on-one, when often he's got two opponents to beat and they're clawing at him, he just does little deft things that I really like. But he's got a long way to go. He does. Anyway, all good. I'd be happy for that. Put it that way. I'd be happy if they switched. I just want to see better. I'd need to see a real step up from Al Houli from a couple of weeks ago when he looked like he was playing reserves footy. He was so off touch.
Yeah. We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah.
All right. So Sitting Joe and Smoking Joe.
Well,
Any
did
new
you
watcher?
say that you're not? Did you say you're not awarding the Houdini Award anymore? I think you said that, didn't you? You declared
Houdini.
that. Yeah.
The Houdini is in a box covered in Houdini Award is in a box with chains around it at the bottom of the Hudson River.
Okay.
Like Houdini used to be. So we're not doing a Houdini. What I was going to say for any new watchers or listeners, we do a Smoking Joe and Sitting Joe. The Smoking Joe is obviously Joe Masidi, who's going to play really well. The Sitting Joe is a homage to when Joe Danaher sat on the fence. God, he was a weird unit, old Joe, wasn't he?
That moment, it just brings a smile to my face. It's so ridiculous. It's just utterly ridiculous that he did that.
By the way, I don't know if we discussed this. Did you see the rumour a few weeks ago that he could come back and play for Sydney?
Yeah, no. Did you see the rumour today? Not the rumour, but the post today from John Ralph saying that he's just come back from overseas. He's put on a few kilos and hasn't run since the grand final. Basically,
that sounds more like Joe. Yeah,
that's the Joe we know. But no, basically put an end. He would not. He was itching to get to retirement. He only stayed because they were going to play and win a grand final. So that's not happening. No way. And he wouldn't come back to Melbourne where he left because he hated.
Oh no, the rumour was he'd go to Sydney.
No, Melbourne. Apparently Simon Goodwin, because they've got that rapport.
Okay. Yeah, good luck with that, Melbourne. That's not going to happen. Yeah. So, who's doing what this week?
You've got the Smoking this week.
Smoking Joe. Okay, lad. Smoking Joe. All right, I'm going to go out on a limb.
Oof.
This man is going to be under the cosh, again, as the English say. He's going to have his finger in the thumb in the dike in the Netherlands, trying to, stop the flood. And he's going to battle beautifully, gamely, and he's going to stop his opponent. It's going to be Laverty. On Cameron, smoking Joe. He's going to raise it in what's been 10 years. How long's he been at the club? 10, 12 years?
Laverty?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, at least 10, at the very, very least, yeah.
So he's at the end, I think. I don't know maybe he'll get it 1 year next year, but
No.
You don't think so?
No.
So this will be swan song, and he will battle gamely. And may even, as a result of this game, there'll be a lot of eyes on it. Who knows, might even get picked up by a club next year, just looking to plug a hole.
Yeah, I mean, in saying all that, I gave him his flowers on Twitter, but I'll bring it to the Bomber Banter as well on the forecast. In the forecast, he had a great game. He against Sydney, that is. He gave no frees away. That has to be a first of his career. If someone can be bothered looking up that stat, that would have to be a first for his career.
Yeah.
He
Ben
was
Hobbs did that job this week.
Yeah, that's right. He was in the face of the Sydney boys who were getting in the face of Nguyen and Clark and Roberts. So he was sticking up. He was being a really good leader down there. I thought he came off his man and helped Blackiston intercept and Redmond intercept numerous times. And there were just very, if not any, brain fades. So flowers for him. However, I do not think he's going to be smoking this week. Jeremy Cameron kicked 6 on him 4 or 5 weeks ago when we played him, and we're arguably a little bit more banged up this time. So if Jeremy Cameron kicked 6 last time, you'd have to say he's in for double, right? He'd at least have 12 under him this week.
How many goals does Cameron kick?
12.
So you're predicting 12, but my question's going to be, how many goals means that Laverty has smoked? Like, what's the line? What's the honourable goals against line?
3.
3? Yeah, I was going to say 5. I reckon if you can keep him to 5, he's done a good job.
5 is still a lot, I think. 3 is reasonable for a good forward.
They're going to kick 25. They will.
He could have these. He could have the 100 sewed up by next week. I don't know who they play next week, but I think he's definitely in for 12. Although in saying that, I don't know if you've seen, but Geelong have already come out and said that they're resting Dangerfield. So thank you, Geelong. Maybe you should rest Cameron too. But
it's too crucial.
Yeah, but anyway. Good luck, Laverty. My thoughts, my prayers are with you, son, because it's not going to be fun.
Godspeed.
All right, sitting Joe, I think I am going to go Liam McMahon. I thought he didn't really get involved in the game. I mean, the poor forwards, they have absolutely no hope and they don't know what they're doing down there in order to help themselves make good leads. It shits me. My God, nothing shits me more than seeing our forward line so congested and every single body in a pack. That one moment in the third quarter when my big ginger had the smarts to simply, he saw everybody in the congestion near the centre square and he had the smarts to think, maybe I'll just go pluck myself outside of the big congested period and then, of course, Merritt with the smarts hit him up. Why? Because opponents know that we're going to congest the forward line, so they just flood back. They take their extra man and they flood back and they congest it.
Not only that, they take a big magnet. They carry this magnet there as well. We can't see it; it's invisible. But because it keeps drawing the ball in from the other players who are just so stupid, they just kick it to that group of 15 defenders every fucking time.
And opponents know that we have no nous. We have no players who will lower the eyes at the half forward mark and deliver the ball to a leading forward. So they just don't bother. They just go straight to the congestion. But now that we know that we've started that habit, why not just now implore one forward, one to just get out the back and then just tell Durham and Merritt, who have led the inside 50 count the past month, to just lower the eyes and have an agreement with whatever forward it is, Archer May or 2 metre Peter or Liam McMahon, that they're going to get out either side. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's too simple. I'm just putting it too simplistic, and in the heat of battle, it's all too hard. But I see other teams with so much space and so much system and structure to their forward entries, and I just think we are overcomplicating this shit. We are overcomplicating it, that now even our best kicker in Merritt can't hit a fucking target, aside from the one I just said. So anyway, point is, Lee McMahon is my sitting Joe.
Okay, so you're saying he's going to be a victim of those circumstances, not necessarily
a victim and an offender. He's a victim as much as he's an offender, but more a victim. How much what's the ratio? I say it's 70% entries and 30% forward craft from the forwards to make lead and make space. That's my ratio.
Remember Crossy Road?
No.
Do you remember the game Crossy Road? You don't remember that, where there's like ducks and you have to jump on the duck, and then coming the other way is like a frog, and you jump on that frog. Anyway, that's what our forwards have to do to get to the other side of the street. They can't just run in a straight line.
So how much for you is the entries versus the forward craft to make space?
Well, that's what I'm answering. I think it's
just give me the number. Give me your number.
No, well, you're missing the third variable, which is the congestion. So there's the entry, there's the individual leading and where he runs, and then there's a congestion. And I think it's all down to the congestion.
But the congestion can also be argued that that's the forward craft. So you're saying it's mainly the forward craft.
Oh, okay. I see what you. So it's the collective douchery of our forwards that contribute. It's not one individual.
No, so I'm saying as a whole, are you saying, is it mostly the lack of forward craft versus like how much, what's your ratio? I'm 70-30 that I think it's the entries.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I think it might be the other way.
70-30, you're going? 30, the other 70.
Way? Yeah, I think that when we stream, and look, I don't know enough about tactics and, is the chicken and the egg and which is a contributor, which isn't. But I think if you're under pressure up the ground, kicking quickly, maybe it's a function of that as well. Maybe it's a function of poor disposal. So yeah, you're possibly right. But if you're looking up and you see a group of 20 players, how do you thread the needle through that? It's pretty difficult.
Okay.
Either way, it's hard for our forwards.
I've gone down to 60-40. Yeah. Yeah, you've convinced me. Closer to 60-40.
I didn't even convince myself. Anyway. That surprises me. But
anyway, moving on.
I just rambled for 2 minutes. But yeah. Anyway, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough going for McMahon.
Yeah. And look, to be honest, I haven't even bothered to look into stats and to take this game apart and to take our opponents apart, because Geelong are so well organised in every quadrant of the ground that and they're pretty good at mostly everything. That there was no glaring I guess downfall in their game style that we can attack. What I will say is they don't typically play that uncontested mark as much as what the Sydney Swans do, that possess the ball. They do like to go quite quickly, and they've got the players who can execute that style of football. So I don't think we're gonna be playing a keepings off game like it was for the first half against Sydney. But I mean, if we can somehow keep it out of their forward half, that would be a start. So stoppage, clearance.
Yes. It does stagger me, and we saw it against Sydney, how we can seemingly lose the contested ball, and it goes to our forward line, and they're outnumbering us, and yet they win the contested ball, and their forwards can find space so easily. And again against Sydney, we saw mark after mark after mark in the forward line by Sydney forwards. Sometimes not even when they move the ball quickly. Sometimes it was a guy 60 out with the ball in his hand, and he just waits and he waits and he knows they'll find space. I don't understand how those two things are happening at the same time. But
that's the ones where it's slow movement up the ground. That is directly a result of work rate. Our players not working hard enough to pressure the ball carrier, because as you say, it's not even going quickly. When it goes quickly and off turnover, sometimes you can understand it because it's going quickly. Our players can't get as fast back to help, and our wings can't get. You can only run so fast, right? So, but when it goes slow and methodical up the ground, and it still gets delivered on a platter to a leading forward, that is work rate. You cannot convince me otherwise. That is purely work rate. And they'll learn, these young, and that's down to the young mids. Plus, who do we have in the midfield? Like, Zach Merritt is thinking that Andy McGrath is going to go and man up and link up and hand over an opposition mid, but they don't know that each other's going to do that because they've only played 2 games in the midfield in this set, this year, and Gresham's in there and he's actually pretty good, and but they don't know each other's movements and patterns, so it's just a recipe for disaster, basically. Yeah.
So speaking of disaster, what are you predicting? Score?
Oh gosh, it's just, the weather is looking perfect, lovely, overcast. 15 at this point, down in Geelong there, but it's always a bit breezy, a bit windy down there. If it was 90, what was it last time? 90, 95. It was 95 points. So if it was 95 points last time, and I'm doing the math, and I think we're weaker. It was at the MCG last time, which is even another little strike against. Maybe 111.
111. Oh my God. Well, I'm setting the honourable loss at 75 points.
Ooh.
75 points.
That's a big honourable loss line.
Correct. But if we get 74 points, it's honourable.
Okay.
That's how little confidence I have. I think we'll definitely break the 100-point barrier. And, I'll say 105, but it could easily be 115, 120.
So, okay, so you've named the honourable loss points. How many goals? How many goals is honourable? Because last time they kicked 23 goals to our 8. 23 goals to our 8. How many goals is honourable?
Well, I guess 20 goals is 120 points. I
was more looking for what your gut is telling you rather than doing the math, but sure.
23 goals.
No, I mean for us. How many for us to kick?
Oh, how many for us to kick?
Yeah.
Oh, if we kick a Baker's dozen, no, not a Baker's half dozen, I'll be happy.
Okay.
If we kick 7, I'll be happy.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's hard to see us getting more than 8 than we did last time. It's hard to see Geelong letting us get more than 8, to be quite frank. But yeah, I'll say if we can match it, 8. If we can get 8, I'd say, yeah, okay. You at least, not that you didn't try, because we know they're going to try, but you battled. I think it's going to be a long night. It's going to be really long, and I cannot believe this is the Friday night game. Unbelievable.
No, neither can I. But they've sent us down there, and they're usually evening games.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Dear. Anything else on the game while I look for couch questions?
Lovely work by you. No,
Sorry.
it's just not going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe we should have set some markers in terms of like player markers, specific player markers to hit. Like I think the trick this week is just to pick a player and just watch him and watch a young player basically, because that's who's bringing us enjoyment this week. Pick a player and just watch him and get some joy from the little improvements you see and the little pockets of shining lights that you can see from them. I kind of hope, given that Johnson played in the VFL, he's clearly not hampered too much. So you could even bring him back in, but he kind of directly. Well, he could come back in, but then that might be too many down back. Because essentially Jaden Yuen took Andy McGrath's spot, and Andy McGrath will still be in the midfield, which he was quite good. He was very good.
He was. And
so I don't
Jaden,
know.
by the way.
Yes, he had a great debut, and you'd think he'd get Stengel this week or Myers, either or. They're both going to kick probably 6 each as well. Anyway, let's go to the couch. Maybe get some help on the couch.
I can't find them. I'll tell you who's keeping me like engaged, and I just think he's grown and grown and grown. He's good Archie.
Good Archie, yeah. He's
Archie
been
Roberts, man, what a player.
Yeah, we were marvelling over him against Sydney, weren't we? We just I just can't believe it's like I don't know if anybody watched Charmed. This could be a bit of a nuanced likening to, but I can't remember who had the freezing. I think it was Piper who had the freezing power. She just did that, and everybody froze and stopped. And it's like when Archie got the ball.
Great way to describe it. Yeah.
The 4 Sydney players around him for 1 split second stopped, and then they attack him, and no other player has that effect except Pendlebury.
Do you know what that? Yeah, and that made me think: is his future in the midfield?
Oh, his future could be fucking anywhere. I think he would excel anywhere except in the ruck. Like I genuinely think he could be a small forward and he would be brilliant. He'd be great on the wing, anywhere. I love his guts. Literally, I do.
Yeah.
The other player also keeping me engaged is Kako. He's phenomenal. Below his feet, he's just beautiful.
Yeah, he had one pickup.
Couple of gathers.
Which are just like he. I'm going to look forward to when he gets a little bit stronger and can lay the tackle a bit better, a bit harder. But offensively, we've got a gem there.
And I think he's more skillful than Waller. I do. Hand on heart, I love Waller, but he's more skillful than Waller. I see it. I can feel it. I feel it. You can bookmark this.
Okay.
Although I don't think I'm doing too well, because in a fan cams, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I told people to bookmark it that Silvani, there's no way that Jack Silvani is going to Collingwood, that he will absolutely be a Carlton player. I think I said that, and I think they're going to come for me. The Carlton trolls are going to come for me. Somebody's going to crop that, although now I've given you a reminder that I said that. So maybe I'll end up cutting this bit out of editing this bit out of the forecast. But yeah, I think he's more skillful than Waller.
There's no Carlton supporters here right now, but
True.
You're right. Bookmarks can become receipts really quickly.
Exactly.
All right, couch question ready, prepared, and this person needs help, Fiona, and you're the person to help them. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
In a toxic love ship, I've never heard that expression before.
What ship?
Love ship. Love/ship. Like a relationship, I guess.
Oh, okay. But I don't get it. Okay, continue the question. Maybe there's content.
I think it's relationship.
Okay.
I'm in a toxic love ship with a guy. Need to leave, but won't. And that's it. No question mark, no question. And a very kind of resigned ending to that. So in a toxic love ship with a guy. Need to leave, but won't.
I mean, love. Maybe they're kind of referring to a situationship, because now that's become a thing where
Yeah.
in this world, situationships are more common than actual relationships because there's no strings attached essentially to a situationship. But I think she's insinuating that she is in love with this person, and you know, I would argue that what she or he, I guess, is in love with is the trigger, and like her trauma is trauma bonding with his toxicity, basically. And
Explain trauma bonding.
So it's basically when you have trauma and you're using his trauma and his behavior based on that trauma, in this case, probably to hurt you, you're using that to bond. So in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I can heal him, I can help him, if that's what your trauma has given you.
Okay.
And so you're bonding over the fact that he has trauma, you have trauma, and maybe you're both two damaged people made for each other, and you're just going to heal each other, and it's all going to be wonderful. But there's a few common. The main thing that comes to me, and the main gut feel that came to me when you read that to me, was the reason many people stay in toxic relationships is because of their trauma, and it's essentially another way for them to subconsciously hurt themselves. And so, if you grew up in a world or in a situationship with parents who, you know, were not self-aware and, you know, blamed you for everything that went wrong and brought you up with, you know, and you had low self-confidence and they hurt you emotionally and maybe physically, you will seek out relationships that give you evidence as to why you're not those things. So if your parents taught you you're no good, you'll seek, if you don't work on yourself and heal yourself from that, and believe that that was wrong, you'll seek relationships that give you validation for that. So you've obviously seeked out a man who is showing you how terrible you are by how he treats you. And essentially you're believing that you deserved it, just like you deserved it when you were young. So both of your lives, your inner child is saying, well, this is normal. This is familiar. And when we hit a familiar situation, we can find ourselves staying there and making home there because familiar is safe, even though your toxic relationship is not at all safe and can get very unsafe. And I hope for your sake it doesn't. But, you know, the only way you can leave and you can get out is to acknowledge what's keeping you there. And what's keeping you there is basically, a validation of your trauma and the fact that you probably believe that that's what you deserve at the core of your being. You're in a child that was traumatized and abused in whatever way growing up, because there's no other reason that we stay in toxic situations other than we believe we deserve it. And you need to heal that part of you that believes that, because until you do, you'll have no reason to leave. Because if one day you wake up and you believe you deserve better because you do, you'll be like, holy shit, I don't deserve this. Why the fuck was I tolerating this? Hell no. And you'll be out of there. Right now, you don't have that. Your inner child is still just saying, well, this is just how it is. So it's comfortable, it's complacent, and you haven't been able to challenge those values and those, you know, those toxic patterns, because it's what you know. And so I am giving you permission here and now that you deserve better. It's your normal, but it is not normal to be treated that way. And if you are acknowledging that he is toxic and that you are in a toxic situation, well, that is the first. You're on your way to healing, because that's the first hurdle. You actually acknowledged that.
Yeah, so give it credit.
Absolutely.
Give it credit for acknowledging.
Absolutely. That is half the battle. And now your next step is realizing why you believe you deserve to be in a toxic relationship, why you believe you deserve to be treated that way by a man. Generally, it's, if you're a woman and a woman wrote this, it's your relationship with your dad that, you know, that kind of, I guess, shaped how you believe men should treat you. But it could also be that your mum didn't save you. Your mum didn't bring you up to believe that you deserve to be treated well by a man and protected and treated well, basically. So there are lots of elements to it, but I would suggest your next step is to work through the trauma that has got you where you are today and why you have a deep-seated belief that you deserve to be treated badly.
Could one element also be she just likes his D?
No, because that's just bells and whistles. No, because that's just bells and whistles. No man is that good. No.
It's a good whistle.
No man. It is a good whistle, but that's just like saying, he's got a yacht, and the yacht is beautiful in summer and we go on lots of trips. Well, when you take the yacht away, what's left? If you take the sex away, what's left at the core? Is it still worth being treated and feeling and hating yourself and hating your life and feeling the pain of being treated so badly? No sex is that good. No yacht is that good. No dinner is that good. No wine is that good, because what you're left with at the end of it, that's why we have to become detached from external validation, from things, from external getting validation from material things, basically. Because if that thing disappeared, what are you left with? What are the foundations? You're still under all that materialistic stuff is still your self-hatred and your self-esteem, your low self-esteem, and you're still your belief that you deserve to be treated badly. So you would just essentially leave this relationship into another toxic relationship. Get to the core.
Well, there you go. That's classic couch heartland too.
That is, that's the borderline what the couch was built for, isn't it?
Along with people who've seen ghosts or people who.
Speaking of, we need an update about the ghost.
We do need an update. So just for new viewers, new listeners, somebody said, help, I think I've got a ghost in my house. The problem is Fiona didn't see the question for 6 months. So whether that person ended up the subject of like a horror movie or not, we don't know.
Oh my gosh, what a question. On reflection as well. That's even better. I thought it was good at the time, but now that we are reliving it, it's just as good.
There's only one answer. If you've got a ghost, if you really literally have a ghost, you move. That's the only answer to that conundrum.
Burn that shit to the ground.
Right, correct. All right, good forecast. But batten down the hatches, people. It's going to get ugly, but
that's what the fan cams are for, people.
That's right, correct. Get on the fan cams and vent. And don't forget to check out your show on Monday. What is it? Your show with Pommy?
Well, it would have been. This is being released on Tuesday night, so it would have already happened last night.
Yeah, but it will be every Monday. Is that right?
It'll be every Monday night. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So, traditional rating show that many people do, but we're jazzing it up and making it fun and dumb and stupid and a bit of light in this dark, dark world. So, and lightness always comes from what will be my co-host in Pommy. If you haven't seen him, check out his page, Pommy and Oz. He drops he's a Carlton man through and through, but he drops a lot of AFL content. He recently did a wonderful video and summarisation of Angus Clark. It was fantastic and just makes you more excited for the kid moving forward. So he does a lot of AFL general content and he does game streaming. So what's it called? Solution where you stream, you watch a game.
He does live watch-alongs, but what I want to know is when is he going to do a watch-along from the bath?
Yeah, he does love a bath, old Pom. He loves a bath at the end of the day, a long day. And he did join a fan cam chat whilst in the bath. And so now there's a petition out to get him calling in from the bath. So I don't know how successful we're going to be on that front, but I'll keep trying.
I kind of want you to keep trying, but then again, I don't.
Yeah. But no, it would be a G-rated bath call-in. Don't you worry about that. But I just like the idea of seeing Pom there and, with his candles and his nice little, relaxation. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you very much for joining.
No, Fiona, peace and love, everyone. Peace and love. Peace and love.
We've got to wait till November. I don't want to hear that voice again till November, okay? I'm banning it until then.
Okay.
Bye. All right, everyone. As the solution said, batten down the hatches. It's not going to be fun, but I will be here for you all on the fan cams. What are we doing? 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go straight away. I'm not going to the game, so we'll hit off at 10:40 p.m. And we'll go for a couple of hours. Call in, make sure you call in and get all the sadness off your chest. It will be a therapy session for sure Friday night. So I will see you all then. Have a great week. And also before that, I will see you Thursday night for Team Selection Show. All right, everybody, take care.